JD Sports has taken over the game and no one noticed. JD Sports is not new to the game. They've been a major player for decades. Founded in 1981 in the UK, JD started a vision with two guys, John and David, hence the name JD. And by 2018, they had the whole entire Europe on lock with over 600 stores across the entire continent. But they're not satisfied. They're setting their sights on a whole new market. So today, we're gonna talk about how they took over the whole entire scene in the US, one acquisition at a time. And the first acquisition was Finish Line back in 2015 for over $550 million. And that was a game changer because it gave JD Sports a major foothold in the massive US sneaker market. JD was able to get their hands on some of the limited release Jordans that released in the States. For example, back in early 2020, they was early to the game. When Jordan 1s was popping off, they were selling them. Not only were they able to get limited releases, but they also got general releases as well. For example, these 38s, they hit for $175, but now they're on sale for $150. You can find this particular shoe in majority of your foot traffic sites. But then you have the non-signatures, the athlete shoes, like the Zions, the Tatum. Congratulate to him, he just won the championship. Even though they acquired Finish Line way before Tatum signed the Jordan brand, but they are now selling his shoe, along with Luka. Those are Jordan brand signature athletes. Tatum, Luka, and Zion are Jordan brand signature athletes. They're carrying their shoes. Not only that, they're also carrying Nike athlete shoes as well. These are the KD 17. They bought Finish Line way before these came out. And the purpose for the acquisition is to acquire opportunities to sell shoes like these, the Book 1s, even the old school Nike basketball shoes like the Charles Barkley, the CB94s. Finish Line had a major contract with Jordan brand and Nike way before the acquisition. So by acquiring them, they acquired these. And more Nike retros like these, more up-tempos, the Scottie Pippen. And look at the price, $130. They're established buying power. Finish Line had established relationship with major brands back in the day, which allowed JD Sports to boost their buying power and product access. Because before the acquisition, JD Sports was known for their runners, their trainers. But that's a UK thing. Finding shoes like these Air Max 1s, even these 90s, it's not unheard of for JD Sports because Air Maxes is their bread and butter. Damn, 110? That's guapi. And just like any business, if you expect to grow, you gotta expand. You may have to take your business in other territory, and that is what they did. I do like these Air Max 95s. These are fire. And if you guys notice the hang tag, there's a reason for that. You can make the argument when you see these hang tags, that means exclusively to JD Sports. Majority of the time, but not all the time. And what made Finish Line a valuable asset is because Finish Line had experience in the US market. They know the trend, like for example, these dunks. Back in 2021 and 2022, these were flying off the shelf. So having Finish Line in their back pocket way before the pandemic allow opportunities like these, make it profitable and beneficial for them to own them. Especially these dunks when these are flying off the shelf like hotcakes. No stores can keep them in stock. And JD also had access to those dunks as well. Now you can find a slew of them in store. They may not be selling currently, but I'm sure they made up some of their margin by selling these. Because prior to 2018, they weren't getting them. And if they were, there wasn't in abundance. But you know what they're buying in abundance? Businesses.
And the second business acquisition came December of 2020 for $325 million for Shoe Palace.
It allowed JD Sports to get a West Coast presence where they didn't have one. It's giving a strong West Coast presence to complement Finish Line national reach. So as a tandem, they can spread their wealth, their product line, and their stores and blanket the nation. And even though JD Sports is known to carry the Air Maxes collection overseas, and even the Vapor Max, which I think is a comfortable shoe, even the Vapor Max Plus, there's a plethora of them. But West Coast have a unique style and feel that Europe doesn't have, and that's the Cortez. Even though this is my first Nike shoe ever, when I bought them, I live in New York. This is a West Coast vibe. Not only the Cortez, but the Chuck Taylors, the Converse All-Star. Now, this is a Nike brand. Nike bought this company back in the days for a couple $100 million, but this is a West Coast look and feel. A lot of people rock these on the West. So having a presence in the West where you can sell All-Stars, Converse, or Nike Cortez, the East Coast don't sell these in abundance like the West Coast do, but they're available. So having that West Coast feels allow them to compete in a bigger market with more stores, more buying opportunity. Not only the majority of the Converse All-Stars are bought in the West, but so are Vans. Now, Vans was created and founded back in the 1960s, and it was created by a few brothers. I think one of the middle names were Van, and it originated in Anaheim, California. Yo, I found some New Balance. I had to try them on. Oh, wrong side. I got the right shoe. Now, these are the 725s. I love the color on these joints. They're hitting for $109. So I'll be trying these super comfy. These are the 725, are super, super comfy. I love the multicolor on these joints. Do I own any 725? Nah, but I may today. Also, let's talk about the loyalty. Shoe Palace has a loyalty with the Hispanic and Latino culture. So JD Sports bought into that. After all, they sell shirts like this, Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke. Y'all remember that movie? It was a classic movie. The Up in Smoke movie came out in 1976. And here's another California movie, Boys in the Hood. Y'all remember that? That was like another classic. Having classic movies like this speaks of volumes. To a point, Shoe Palace is representing them on t-shirts. Tapping into demographic markets is a huge value. They already covered the East Coast with Finish Line, and now they're covering the West Coast with Shoe Palace. But they're not done. And like I mentioned, with the purchase of Finish Line, it has broadened their portfolio of having exclusive shoes, general release shoes, shoes that they normally wouldn't have gotten if they only had JD Sports. By having Finish Line and now Shoe Palace, they could extend their reach even further. Having multiple stores that carry Jordan brands, carrying the new release sneakers like these, and general release Jordans as well, like these reverse Oreos, along with the Taxi Flip, the Green Glows, and these 13s. Even the substitute J's, like the 6-string, the Flights, and even not only did JD Sports corner the market in the US by purchasing Finish Line and Shoe Palace, they also purchased DTLR. In 2021, $5 million shy of $500 million. Crazy. That's over $1 billion spent in the US alone. Now this DTLR is located off of OBT. It's literally in an urban community. Matter of fact, both DTLR and Orlando, Florida is located in urban communities. Thank you. All right. So after acquiring Shoe Palace from the West Coast, they make their way back to the East Coast to buy DTLR. And by that purchase, it just extended the footprint on the East, creating a bigger portfolio. I do like these for $100. That's real cheap. That's a great price. And DTLR being predominantly on the Northeast, you already know you're gonna find a lot of J's. You're gonna get a plethora of Jordans. Even though some of these shoes are found in the other store, look at the pricing. $109 for these Shadows. We saw these in the other stores, but those going for retail. And even the other stores that did have shoes on sale like these, here they're a lot cheaper, $139. You can make the argument due to the location, you'll start seeing shoes like these on sale a lot quicker. It doesn't hurt to shop in the urban community, especially if you're looking for sales like these Jordan 2s, Lows, and because DTLR offers more. Whoa. They got the Jordan 11 IEs here for $129, not a bad deal. And they also carry the most recent releases like the Jordan 4s and the reverse Oreo 6s. And by the way, these are called Oxide Green 4s. I'm not mad at them. Kind of like these. By the way, DTLR is a street powerhouse. Oh, and it stands for Downtown Locker Room. I didn't know that. Did you? So you can see a lot of sneaker brands like New Balance, Pumas, and Adidas. And you can find other brands that don't get love in any other store, like these joints. And Copper, you may find them online, but you can go to DTLR and you can find them in stores for affordable price. Not only they got the slides, but they also carry the shoes. And it's not by accident you're gonna find Crocs here as well. And are you guys shocked to find these Yeezy slides just wildly available sitting on shelves at DTLR? Crazy, 70 beans, retail. And even though I've been focusing on sneakers, DTLR has a major streetwear presence. So you got this streetwear brand. To be honest, I've never heard a majority of this stuff. They carry Outrank. I actually own a tee from them. That's an urban brand, and that's an urban brand. And brand makers. I like some of these tees. But if you're looking for more familiar clothing, they got you. They got Boss and Polo. I do like these shorts right here. And they carry the accessories as well. The t-shirts, the socks, What's up? So I circled my attention back over to the sneakers because they also got the Yeezys. I was talking to an employee that said they just got these in, and the biggest size they have is a size 11.5. So not only did DTLR get Jordans, Adidas, New Balances, and Kappa sandals and slides, but they got Yeezy slides and Yeezy shoes. That's dope. Now this is the most recent release because it doesn't have the Yeezy branding on the lateral side of the shoe, but they're still Yeezys and they're still comfy. And by the way, these are the 350s. And DTLR has Operation Synergy, the ability to combine resources like logistics and back office function between DTLR and JD Sports, along with other US stores, can lead to cost savings and efficiency improvements. So if logistics is dialed in and somebody's looking for this shoe at JD Sports, there's a potential that JD Sports can get the stock from DTLR to fulfill that order. To be honest, some of these shoes that DTLR offer are not in other stores and they're not at these prices. I'm at 70 beans for these Jordan 2s, the Black Italy's. That's a great price. Even these Midnight 3s, also another great price. And these shoes came out months ago, if not over a year. And $50 for some Crocs? I ain't mad at it. Now, it may be a far reach to say that the logistics can help fill in orders from other stores that's not the same brand. For example, JD Sports may not be able to pull from DTLR, but imagine if they could. I don't think that's far-fetched. I think everyone wants the ability to pull stock from one store or one brand into another. They're all under the same umbrella, so why not? Now, this idea could be true or may not. For example, I don't remember JD Sports having these in stock. I don't even think they got them, but imagine they didn't. Are they able to sell them at JD Sports, requesting them from DTLR? Probably not. Oh, it's not over. So DTLR covered the grounds by purchasing Finish Line. Then they went out west, purchased Shoe Palette. Then they came back to the East Coast, caught DTLR. And finally, this year, they're in the process of acquiring Hibbett Sports. And in this plaza, we got not only one, but two of them joints. And this acquisition was announced this year, April of 2024, for $1.1 billion. And this acquisition made so much more sense to me because Hibbett Sports has the most doors of any other store in the nation. I had made a video about that last year where Hibbett Sports have over 1,000 stores in the US alone. And you couple that with all the other stores that they're acquired, they're now the biggest foot traffic site company in the United States, if not the world. By the way, I got these super comfortable and I paid half of that price. Just like DTLR, Finish Line, and Shoe Palace, they have majority of Hibbett Sports have as far as like shoes like these, Jordans like those, and Dunks like these. They just offer them more opportunity to sell more shoes in abundance. Having that many stores, it's crazy. You can make the argument having that many stores may provide a disadvantage. Because if shoes don't sell, you're gonna have an influx in product. And having an influx in product, that's a surplus of shoes you can't sell, and you gotta discount them heavy. And all these stores do gotta compete for business. So even though they're under the same umbrella, they still gotta sell the shoes. I like these Sabrinas. They're cool. It's a women's shoe, barely Volt. So we are the second Hibbett Sports. And Hibbett Sports have a huge, strong presence in the Southeast, Midwest, and also strengthen JD's footprint across the whole entire nation. So acquiring Hibbett Sports allows a stronger presence in the Southeast and Midwest, which allow JD Sports to strengthen their footprint across the USA. And saturated, they did. Just like the Air Jordan 1 High OGs. You've seen these in abundance in multiple different foot traffic sites, including the 4 acquisitions of JD Sports, including Hibbett Sports. So when you talk about saturation about shoes, think about that with stores. JD have the biggest footprint of any foot traffic site franchise in America. Regardless, you see these shoes in other stores, it just means that they have 4 times the quantity. So if a shoe does really well, JD can sell 4 times as many pairs as their competitors. These are LeBron Witness. I doubt these are selling like that. They're going for $50, and that's comparable to other stores. That's not a bad price. And the first time I saw these KD17s was at JD, and they're also here at Hibbett Sports. Now the acquisition is not finalized, so technically Hibbett Sports is now under the umbrella of JD Sports, but when it is, you're gonna see a whole influx of different product lines across multiple different stores. Now these are the Hardens. I used to like Adidas basketball shoes. Now I stop at the Harden 3, but these are space age and they're hitting for $160. Now the other Adidas shoe I like, which they don't currently have, is the Anthony Edwards. And I have not seen those shoes at any foot traffic site that JD acquired, but I could be wrong. Maybe because it sold out so quickly, but I know of other competitive foot traffic sites that do get them, and they sold out there as well. You out of here? I haven't been to that store yet. What do you call it, F1? F1 store. What that means? So what is considered? So first, second types. Got you. But as recently, a lot of shoes are not selling out, especially the Jordans. The retro Jordans, the substitute J's, like these Pro Strongs or these Jumpmans, are not selling. And that's including the Dunks. Because Nike makes so many colorways and Dunks, you might see some exclusive releases at different stores. And now that JD has multiple footprints in the US, JD Sports can leverage the fact that they should get them because they have a bigger presence. So hopefully you can see Dunks like this, Dunks like that, and other foot traffic sites that typically won't get Dunks. They all get them. So shoes like these are not found in every foot traffic site. So the mere fact that they have them here at Hibbett Sports, there's a possibility that they can use that leverage to get them in other stores. Now these are GS 12s. I have never seen these. They're only in a selected foot traffic site. But however, these are everywhere. Tasky flips. Remember, the whole purpose of the acquisition is not only the amount of stores they're able to obtain during that purchase, but it's also to saturate the whole entire market, like I've been talking about. To give them 4 times, if not 5 times, the buying power. You got 5 foot traffic sites under the same umbrella. I mean, you turn the corner, you're shopping under the parent company of JD Sports. And combining resources with Hibbett's, aka Hibbett Sports, it could lead to more cost savings and more streamlined operation structure for JD Sports in the US. With these acquisitions, JD Sports is in line to have over 5,000 stores in the United States alone. That's including all the shoe stores that they acquired: Finish Line, DTLR, Shoe Palace, and Hibbett. And that's a massive footprint and retail landscape. You guys are smart. All the numbers I have thrown out today, that's literally over $1 billion in acquisition, at least in total assets. I can't believe they still got these. Now these has disappeared at every other foot traffic site I have visited. Now here's a real life example, a shoe that is available nowhere else. No foot traffic site that I know of have these, but it's available in Hibbett. And JD have, AKA JD Sports. They got the sneaker market cornered. So you gotta buy from them, literally. One thing I would like to see is that when shoes go on sale at one location, it goes on sale in every location. But I understand they have to compete with each other, so you may see shoes allocated for different stores for different prices at different times. And that just may be an opportunity that we have to get used to. But anyways, man, let me know what your thoughts and opinions